Hello everyone, Magdalena here, Wolf of Kinds. Thank you so much for tuning in. My last video about creatures from Polish and more widely Slavic folklore was very popular, so I thought I would come back with a new installment. And let's get to it. I thought today I will start with this guy, and he is called Bies. So this name, with Christianity coming to Slavic lands, became like a synonym for a devil or a demon. Okay, so for example, Dostoevsky's Demons book, I believe in English it's Demons, not the demons, just demons. In the original Russian, in the Russian original, it's Biesy, if I understand correctly. In Polish, it's Biesy, so almost the same. And he lived in deep in the woods, in the forest, and in the swamps. So generally speaking, in places where people couldn't easily access, and he could make you suffer. Generally, like if something bad happened to you, you could say it's because of him. Oh, wait a minute, it will be later. What can I do with it? Okay, please hold it. Whoa! And okay, yes. Here it says also, this is the I introduced my books in the previous video, so I won't be doing it now. If you're curious, check out the link or the playlist for Slavic pagan stuff. But yeah, it says here that he could make like evil people crazy so that they couldn't do evil to others. So it's like, okay, he's like a demon. He can do nasty things to us, but at the same time, it looks like he can like prevent evil people from doing evil. So yeah, what else? But he could, as I said, he could be. You could meet him in the woods, at the crossroads, in the deep of the waters, in deep waters, and in swamps. And he could like trick you into like extreme. Like he could put a charm on you, and you would get into like extreme anxiety and fear. And if somebody acted like they were insane, doing violent stuff, people would say that zbiesił się, so he biesed himself. Okay. Also, bieses, they were said to guard kind of treasures deep in the earth. So yeah, this is Bies. So it seems like it's like a forest creature that could be very dangerous, but at the same time, he was kind of, he was very capricious, obviously, but he had some moral code in a way. And as I said, in Christian times, this name got like borrowed for a Christian demon as well. And now from the forest, let's go home. In many Slavic languages, home is dom, D-O-M, and this is Domowik, or in Russian I think it's Domovoy. In Polish, it's Domowik for male and Domowicha for female. And well, also there is another Polish equivalent that is called Uboże. So Domowik comes from the word for home or house, because it's the same in Polish. And Uboże, the etymology is unclear, but it's some, like in the old times people would interpret that they are poor creatures, so that's why, because you can see the etymology as from ubogi, which means poor, but probably it meant a creature that makes you like more abundant, like your household more abundant. So it's not the negation. Well, I'm going too far with the etymology, but yeah, it was a creature that resembled in a way the head of the house, and he was old, looked like an old person. Many believed that it was an ancestor who did not leave the house, he just stayed and became a guardian spirit of the house. So he also, like, he was also the boss of all other creatures from the house and around the house. And yeah, what else? Yeah, so the house was his kingdom, basically. I have another image from this child's book. There's Domowik and Domowicha, so like his wife. And what's important, people wanted to have like their good graces, so they would leave leftovers from the meals, usually dinner. For the night, they would leave a little bit of food from the meal, especially on Thursdays. So Thursdays were a day to especially like care for these creatures. It's believed that it was somehow related to the ancestor worship, and Thursday was the day to do that. And now, okay, my notes, wait a moment. Now we could go near the house, because in the old times, nearly every house had its own, like a sauna in a separate building. It's still so in the eastern part of Slavic lands. So of course there also had to be a creature guarding that place. And I have him here or here. Yeah, okay. He is here. So he was he's funny. He was called Bannik, from Bania. It's Russian for sauna or bath. And in Polish he's also called Łaźnik, from łaźnia, which is bath. If you've ever been to Warsaw, you might have been to the beautiful park which is called Łazienki Królewskie, which means king's baths, because he had built really cool baths there. Anyway, so this creature was a guardian of the sauna type of bath house. And by the way, I've been to a banya myself, because my husband is from Belarus and he has family there, and we visited his grandma, who lives, well, sadly she passed a few years ago, but she lived in a village, and she still had this banya. And yeah, and we went there, so it's a really awesome thing. Anyway, he also looked like an old man with like messy hair, and he took care of the bathhouse. He took care that the stones on which you pour water were hot enough to produce steam, and so that the twigs, the birch twigs, it's traditional to use birch twigs to whip yourself, to like make the blood circulating better. And the offering for him would be what's this called? Like a bucket, a bucket of clean water. So you would leave this, and he could also tell fortunes. What you were supposed to do was to go to the bathhouse and stand with your back to the to the center, and wait for like a signal from him, and he could like you could ask a question, and if he touched your arm, it meant yes, and if he was pissed off, he could like scratch you with his claws. So yeah. So what else? What else would I... Oh yeah, I have a picture here. There's another book. This is Mythology, Adventures of Slavic Gods, and it's a kid's book, but it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Look at that. There's the sacred tree, and it opens like that. So anyway, I have he appears in this book, and they depicted him like this. Like what was also important about the bathhouse, that many like celebrations were held there. And there's got Perun in the bathhouse here. So, for example, giving birth would happen in this place. And also other like religious ceremonies that we don't know that much about because they were closed to outsiders. So we don't know, but apparently you could contact your ancestors in this sacred place of bath. So it was a very, very important place, and you should take care of your Bannik to have his good graces. There is also this story that we have. It's been reconstructed. There's like this story. It's like a legend written down with Christian names, but it's kind of obvious that it's not Christian. It's something older, and this is about man being created. So in that story, God, in this version, it's God Perun. He was sitting in the bath and he was sweating there, and he used a little bit of hay to wipe his sweat from himself, and then like threw it away. And with this, the devil, in this case his brother Veles, he added some stuff there and they together created first human. Okay, so yeah, here they are in the bath, can you see? And there's this like human being here. And Perun, or God in this version, gave soul to the human, and Veles kind of like created the body and added sexual organs there. So yeah, so this is Bannik. And lastly, I wanted to mention, I wonder if I can find them here. So these are creatures from the Pomerania district, so northern Poland, near to the Baltic Sea. Of course, I cannot find them now. There are not so many. Oh, they are here. Okay. So they are called Julki, and they are friendly creatures who live in barrows. Like, you know, those old mounds where people in ancient times were buried. They lived there. So they remind me of the Shea that we know from the British Isles. And generally speaking, they were pretty shy. They wouldn't like interact much, and people would avoid going to the barrows not to upset them. So when you had their good graces and there was some kind of like a famine crisis, they would help you. They would give food, leave food to you, and in the like between the barrows, you could find food there, thanks to them. So it's it's very nice, and of course you are supposed to thank them properly for their kindness. I have them here too. So this is a version from the kids book, and this is like an imagery from this book. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. Again, please let me know if you have, and if you would like to know more, or for me to make more videos like that. And have a lovely, lovely day. Bye.